Hi, I'm Carolyn, and thank you guys for joining me today on Educated and Unfiltered. Today, I want to talk to you about substitute teaching. As educators, we have to stop labeling everything that our students do. When a substitute walks into a classroom, too many students treat it like it's a green light for them to be disrespectful, to ignore rules, and push every single boundary that they can think of. I decided to throw my hat into the ring in a local school district to substitute teach. But initially, I had signed up to substitute for any principal that was absent. We're too busy as adults trying to explain away behavior of our children. I had an opportunity to sub for a behavior unit at one of the local high schools, and I was appalled of the behavior that I saw in the room. There were like four instructional aides, two teachers, two kids. So I'm saying, what is going to happen to these kids when they try to matriculate through life and they're not in this behavior unit anymore? And these were young men between the ages of 16, maybe 17 years old. They'd come in and kick their shoes off, and there was a knock at the door, and they'd meet their breakfast lady there, and they'd welcome her in, and they'd take the trays, and they'd sit down and pull out their cell phones and just had a grand old time. There was no expectation for learning. There was no expectation for them to do their assignments. It's all about let's play on our cell phones, let's be disrespectful, let's use profanity, and let's eat some breakfast. And then it happened all over again around 11:45 when lunchtime came around. And this is where I'm going with this conversation about substitute teaching. Substitutes, please listen to me clearly. I have a deep respect for you guys, for anyone that wants to substitute teach, because you're in a classroom from either 8:30 to 4:30, depending on if you're at the middle school or the high school, and then at the elementary school, you're there from 7:30 to 3:30. And I realize, for me personally, that's not something I want to do. And I'm going to give a piece of advice to the administrators. Please support your substitutes in the classroom. And teachers, when you know that you're going to be absent, please leave a lesson plan. And you're supposed to have emergency lesson plans in place to ensure that when you're absent, if you have a flat tire on the way to school, your baby is sick, or you feel ill, something's in place for that substitute to have to work. It's not fair for a substitute to have to go into a classroom with zero lesson plans. And as a substitute, let me give you a piece of advice to save yourself through the day too. Make sure you put that date on the board. Make sure you find that attendance roll, and make sure you find the lesson plan and put the information on the board, because you'll find yourself repeating yourself over and over again to a bunch of young adults who understand the rules of engagement. They just want to try to play the sub to see if you are going to either fold or you're going to acquiesce to their behavior. So again, I'm Carolyn. I want you guys to continue to follow me, because I have so much I want to share with everybody. And thank you for joining me today. And if you're just thinking about substitute teaching, please take what I've said, keep it in mind, and make sure that respect doesn't change when the teacher is absent. Respect should be there all the time, children. These people that have given up their time to come and substitute teach when your teacher's absent, they need to be commended, not be mistreated. Thank you guys for joining me.